Well, the court granted an interdict today against the payment of 950 million rand by the city to PEU Capital. We are delighted about the outcome because this outcome actually prevents the last billion rand to be wasted on this unlawful arrangement that was concluded between the city and PEU. We know that well in excess of 2 billion rand has already been expended in this regard. We know that the process that was followed was a flawed process, and we know that the city thereafter tried to panel beat its unlawful processes by the conclusion of a so-called termination agreement, which provided for even further payments to be made to PEU. It's exactly that's been stopped today. We're delighted about the fact that within the next 3 weeks the Deputy Judge President will have to be approached. He will lay down time frames, and hopefully the main application of this matter will then be taken to the review court before the end of this year. The service will carry on. The application was drafted in such a way that we provided for the services not to be interrupted as a result of the non-payment of this 950 million rand. So PEU will have to carry on. They will continue to receive their fees for that. So they will be reimbursed for the actual service that's been delivered. And those 13,000 consumers will carry on to use their prepaid meters as they are. And then obviously when the review court had a look at the transaction as a whole, then if we are successful, a review court will then lay down a just and equitable remedy that will be applied for the future going forward. It's very difficult to say. All I can say is a well-known principle that applies everywhere, that where the right procedures are not followed, then very often that is an indication of corrupt activities. And we are concerned about that. The excess of the amounts that were expended in this regard is just of such a nature that we are concerned about what happened. It was interesting that the judge actually mentioned it just before he made his order, that the more he learned about this transaction, the more concerned he became. And I think that's a very strong point that's been made, and we are glad about the fact that the court took notice of this and that this matter has now been dealt with properly by the High Court, and that the matter will from now on be taken further and be driven to a conclusion, because we've been frustrated in our efforts to take it to court before.